I'm live. Let's let the glitches out.
The coaches shake hands, Joe Mazzulla and Jason Kidd. The final first seconds tick away. Get ready to raise an 18th banner, Boston. The Celtics are once again the winningest franchise in the history of the NBA. It's an 18th title for the Celtics, the 2024 NBA champions. Kidd, the final four.
2024 NBA champs. 18 times. No more basketball. Kind of good riddance.
From the middle of the Pacific Ocean, it's high noon and high time that you tuned into the Spirit of Sports, hosted by Brother Richie. The Spirit of Sports is the flagship of the Notpods family. Notpods complete archive can be found at Notpods on YouTube. And now for our host, Brother Richie.
Hey, and aloha, welcome, Brother Richie, the Spirit of Sports, coming at you live Tuesday, high noon, June 6th, 18th, somewhere in there. You know, when every day is pretty much the exact same, it's kind of Groundhog's Day over here. And it's a beautiful life, not complaining, but June 16th, 18th, Tuesday, Sunday, Friday. Doesn't really matter. If I'm on live, it must be Tuesday. 16th. Yep. Big news. Boston Celtics win their 18th NBA championship. Best team in the NBA all year. Give it up to them. Handled Dallas pretty easily. Gotta say, bad juju for Kyrie Irving. I don't think he's won in Boston since he left. He's 1-12 in his last 13 games against Boston. Let's get a little airflow in here. Oh, no, not that one. Okay. No, not that one. Yeah, that one. So, taking the studio, I'm in the dining room, mobile studio, mobile camera, piece of shit Dell computer, plodding along, just putting in the work, nobody watching, nobody listening, nobody caring, and I don't either. Not yet. Brother Richie from the middle of the Pacific Ocean, the Spirit of Sports. Coming soon, notpods.com, brought to you at Notpods YouTube channel. You can check out most of my past shows. Notpods, I call it because in my mind and my dream for this is to be not a podcast, but live internet sports talk radio or talk radio. So we're talking sports, we're talking life. So you can watch all my past now, but when I'm big enough, when I'm asking for 51 cents a month, humbly asking, when I make this my career, it will be see me live or lose it forever. Yeah, Kyrie, not good in Boston. Some kind of kibosh. He even tried sage. Remember a couple years ago, and he walked around the court with burning sage. Shoots like 27% in Boston, 50% in Dallas in the finals. So it's a tough loss. Luka, I think he was more hurt than anybody knows. Some kind of rib strain, muscle pull. I don't know. But, nobody expected Dallas to win. And Celtics, 6 times they've been in the Eastern Conference Finals. So they were due. Better team. Hats off to the Boston Celtics. Better team. NBA's over to another year. And does anybody really care? I think it's more important that we are 78 days away, I believe, to the NFL season. One last note, NHL Game 5 tonight. Go, Canada, please. Pretty please. So, week 2 of my 8 weeks that'll lead us right into preseason of my NFL conference preview prediction shows. Last week I did the NFC North. I had Green Bay first, Detroit, Chicago, and then Minnesota, and possibly 3 of those 4 making the playoffs. On to the NFC South. Week 2. Every week we're going to do one NFL division. Preview Brother Richie's predictions. Brother Richie here live every Tuesday, the Spirit of Sports show, brought to you by Notpods. At Notpods YouTube channel, notpods.com, coming soon. Reach out to me. I just need a high school kid that knows how to build a website. I own it. If you know WordPress, want to help out on something that's going to be huge, get in touch. You know, I'm living in such abundance and gratitude that I know when the time is right, the time will be right. For now, plodding along, you know, just being consistently on the air and getting used to being in front of the camera and the microphone. And that's the plan. Lifelong dream, 51 cents a month. I will be humbly asking soon. You won't even notice it's gone off a credit card. If I can get 20,000 people, I can do this full time. Maybe I'll be in your hometown, your local bar, come do a little interview. So that is the plan for now. I am in my humble abode. Sometimes I'm in Emelani's bedroom, pseudo studio. I took it out into the dining room today. There's the hallway. Middle of the Pacific Ocean. This little dead-end street. I'm a 9-iron to the ocean right over there. Incredible life. So NFC South, again, once again, most likely the worst division in all of the NFL, especially with the AFC South getting quite a bit stronger. Oh, did I mention this portion of the program brought to you by X-Colo for all your marijuana needs in the Portland metropolitan area. X-Colo, better than your ex-girlfriend. There you go, Dave Wick. Yeah, I believe NFC South, probably hands down the worst division in the NFL this year. 9-10 wins at the most, max, will win you the division. And I go from bottom to top. 4th place after the debacle last year. I don't know if they'll ever overcome the huge, tragic mistake of taking wee man Bryce Young over CJ Stroud last year. They went 2-15. I have them at 6-11 at best, probably 5-12. They have the 10th easiest strength of schedule, so the top third, 24th offensive line, and the 24th ranked defense, so bottom third of the league. But the main thing is you got a 5'10" quarterback that weighs $180 and has shown not a whole lot of promise. And you traded away DJ Moore and this year's first-round draft pick to grab him. Would you move up 2 spots? Probably could have had him 2nd or 3rd. Yeah. David Tepper, and you know, they talked me into it. Bullshit, David Tepper. You said, that's the guy I want. I don't want to hear any feedback. Yes, man, only here. Get out. Dave Canales looks like a yes man to me. Good luck. So, some additions. Jadeveon Clowney. Which more? Deontay Johnson. David Moore, wide receivers. Running back Jonathan Brooks and Xavier Leggett, a couple rookies. Brian Burns, Dante Jackson, couple departures, but probably once again the worst team in the league. Coming off 2-15 and that huge draft mistake. The Matt Rule disaster. 2 years they wasted on that. College guys just don't work. Frank Reich even struggled. Tampa Bay's offensive coordinator comes over. Let's see. I didn't quite look at the depth chart yet. I mean, what do they got? Adam Thielen, he's 100. Jonathan Mingo, Deontay Johnson, Terrence Marshall Jr., Chuba Hubbard, Jonathan Brooks, as I said, Tommy Tremblay. I mean, you have a 5'9" quarterback that weighs $180, maybe at least surround him with some good weapons. I take it back. They're going 2-15 again. I'm going to have to restructure. Oh my goodness, I'm wearing Carolina blue. What the F are we doing here? Oh my goodness. So fourth, 32nd place in the whole NFL. What a joke. You know, the way David Tepper, from what I sound, is a human being, you deserve it. Moving on. My third place prediction in the NFC South, last year's winner, I just see a little regression. They went 9-8 last year. I say 8-9. They have the 11th easiest strength of schedule, so top third of the league. 15th ranked O-line, 26th ranked defense. That won't help. But in that weak division, probably not that big a deal. They did sign Baker, 3 years, $100 million after he had an all-time year, yeah. 4,044 yards, 28 TDs, and 10 INTs. So Baker, he'll probably take a little step back. Mike Evans, they re-signed 2 years, $52 million. He could have gone anywhere. I guess he's happy there. 10 straight 1,000-yard seasons, and there's something to it, your legacy, to stay with one team, and he has a Super Bowl, so I can see that. Linebacker Randy Gregory comes over. Jordan Whitehead, safety. Levante David re-signs for 1 year, $10 million. Chase Edmonds comes over. Sterling Shepard from the Giants. Antoine Winfield, 4 years, re-signed. And then Bucky Irving, the Duck rookie. That guy could be a stud. Carlton Davis, cornerback, only real departure to speak of, so I still got him coming in third place. They got Evans and Godwin, Kyle Ottenbach, Rashad White. They rejoined Baker. Should be a good group, kind of running back the same. And, you know, when you win a division and win a playoff game, might as well run it back. I just think that a 26th ranked defense doesn't help. Atlanta and New Orleans should both be improved. That's why I like Tampa Bay finishing third. 8-9, no playoffs. Moving on. The NFC South here on the Spirit of Sports, Notpods, YouTube channel. Brother Richie live. Middle of the Pacific Ocean. Whereabouts, untold. If you know, you know. You know how it is. One day. Second place selection. With a 9-8 record and the same record they had last year, New Orleans Saints. 5th easiest strength of schedule, 27th ranked offensive line, 13th ranked defense. If they can keep David Carr upright, I believe somewhat firmly that David Carr is a solid NFL quarterback. Let's see what they did in the offseason. Signed Jonathan Abram and Tyrann Mathieu. That should help that defense. 2 safeties. You know, cornerstones of the defense. Chase Young comes over, defensive end. I mean, if that guy lives up to expectations, 15 sacks, defensive player of the year, possibility. And what that can do for a team. That's kind of why I like him. Cedric Wilson comes over from the Dolphins. Michael Thomas, Jameis Winston gone. Other than that, not much to speak of. So they're pretty much running it back. They went 9-8 last year, missed the playoffs on a tiebreak. Derek Carr, 3,878 yards, 25-8. So solid season in his first. Miller or Dennis Allen, just not sure. Defensive coaches, bro, they kind of don't work. So we'll see what happens there. Chris Olave returns. Rashid Shaheed, he's an up-and-comer. Cedric Wilson. So they're a little thin at wide receiver, depending on some rookies. See what happens. Kamara getting up in age. Chase Young and Alvin Kamara this season could rest on how well those guys play. Kamara just seems like he's always it's almost like, who are some guys? Carl Anderson for the Beavers back in the day. I can't think of, but there's just some guys that just have all the talent in the world, but don't seem to really care. Sometimes that feels like Alvin Kamara. So 5th easiest strength of schedule, but not a good O-line. I don't know. I got him in 2nd place, missed the playoffs most likely. New Orleans Saints. Week 2 of my NFL 8 weeks division by division breakdown preview. Today we're doing hands down and most likely, and I believe the worst division in all of football, the NFC South. So you're going to win the worst division in football. You're going to make the playoffs. What are you going to do? I believe probably most improved should win the division, the Atlanta Falcons. I'm at 9-8, possibly 10-7. They went 7-10 last year. Good riddance, Arthur Smith, the bane to fantasy football. We'll talk about him in a little bit. Strength of schedule, Atlanta Falcons. Easiest schedule in the league. 4th best offensive line. Bottom ranking defense, 27th. So shore that up. But when you got an O-line, when you got Cousins, if he's healthy, Michael Penix was head scratcher, draft pick. But you should be solid at quarterback. We'll talk about the roster. And I'm going to talk about Arthur Smith again. Ad nauseum last year. And what the F are you doing? So you get Kirk Cousins. Darnell Mooney comes over from Chicago. These are additions. Michael Penix Jr., the rookie. Jace McClellan, running back out of Bama. Usually Bama running backs work out pretty well. Cornerback Anthony Johnson. And the only departure to speak of, Jonnu Smith. Good riddance. The guy that led the team in receptions last year because Arthur Smith doesn't like fantasy football. And goes out of his way to make sure that his best players don't get the ball just to fuck with us, fantasy footballers. Well, you know what? Now you're Pittsburgh's problem. Maybe as offensive coordinator, you're going to have such a huge chip on your shoulder about it. It is so crap. Guy came out and said, I don't give a shit about fantasy football. I might not even give my best guys the ball because you drafted him. Do you know why the NFL is head and shoulders above the NBA, Major League Baseball, soccer, NHL? Do you know why, Arthur Smith? It's because of fantasy football. It's because of gambling. It's because there's 10 million ladies that have fantasy football leagues that didn't 10 years ago, that love the NFL because of that, and that watch because of that. And you get billion-dollar TV rights because of that. And you poo-poo and you shun us. F you, Arthur Smith. Good riddance. You're the Steelers' problem now, and I don't know. Jalen Warren over Najee Harris. Don't take Pickens. It baffles me, bro. So we got Drake London, Rondale Moore, Darnell Mooney, team up with Cousins. Pretty good. I don't know, a little thin at wide receiver. This is why this division sucks. Look at that. Drake London, Evans and Godwin, Olave, and besides that, who do you got? Adam Thielen is still number 1 in Carolina. So take a decent wide receiver room. Drake London's awesome. But add on a long-awaited larger role for Kyle Pitts. Can we finally have the Kyle Pitts breakout year? All you Kyle Pitts truthers, how long's it been? And Bijan Robinson, CMC type year. Give him 30 carries a game, 30 touches, 22 carries and 8 catches a game. Minimum. He's young. He can handle it. Tyler Algier out. 3-down back. Bijan Robinson, first pick in the fantasy football draft. Him and CMC. CMC is going to get hurt this year. That's my number 1 pick. I hope he falls to me at 8. Just let me have him at 8, please. Hope there's a season. Woos. Atlanta, offensively, with all that, should be a top-notch offense and an NFC option to make a run in the playoffs. Raheem Morris, release the hounds. The hounds, please. Just so sick of Arthur Smith's shit. There we have it. The NFC South, I got Atlanta going 10-7 to win the division. No other team making the playoffs. New Orleans 9-8, Tampa 8-9. And you know what? I had Carolina at 2-15 again. As I relook at their roster, oh my God, what are we doing here? 21 minutes in the books. It's about all I got today. NFL's coming. Be a lot more Brother Richie. I think the day after Super Bowl, I'm going to shut down Spirit of Sports Notpods for a while. Hopefully, if I have the website up and running by then, could do that. Maybe a show here and there, but I just don't have the passion for basketball, baseball, hockey. Golf a little bit, but nobody wants to hear that. So we're ramping up into NFL season. Next week, join me high noon. That will be on the 25th of June. Talking about, this will be a good one, the NFC East. Okay, love you guys. Have a nice day, and ahuyo.